This video is brought to you by Blue Guardian, the fastest growing prop firm in 2023. Folks, welcome to the Week 10 update of the Blue Guardian Challenge. We've got 6 traders taking the challenge this week, including myself. You're going to find out how everyone got on last week, including my trades, and we've got a new trader hitting the streams this week. He goes by F-Bomb and his mentor is Epic, so I'm expecting good things. So please stay tuned on that channel for that. So that's Monday and Friday London session if you do want to see him take his trades. So folks, we've got the updates from the traders this week coming up, so let's dive into it, see how they got on. Our sponsor Blue Guardian is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and over trading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation.
Hi everyone, Gentsla here. We are back with our 100k Blue Guardian challenge, and we're just doing our weekly updates. I know you've been excited with all the other streamers and stuff, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to stream. My newborn baby has just been keeping me awake, and so mostly I've actually been trading from my phone this week with a very limited standardized lot size. And so it's actually been between a 0.1 to 0.15% risk that I've been taking per trade, and it's been good. So we were down like 2.6% actually ish to we landed at the end of last week on 2.4%, and then this week we've now just gone above our 100k, so we're back at initial balance. So this just goes to show that when you have a strategy, you just got to keep your risk management, because sometimes in some weeks you'll have devastating weeks, and other ones they'll bring you back. You just got to keep consistent with what you're doing and how you're doing it, and things can be done. So hopefully we are just going to go up and away from here. Let me show some of the trades that I've gotten. I won't present the break-even trades that I had, just because they were break-even. Okay, so we had our Monday was set up, and we had the time that I always look for. We have, if you've been following the channel, we've been going from between here it's 750 and 810, or 850 and 1010. So I took 2 trades on that day. We took the buy side over here. We made a breakdown. There was a fair value gap. I entered. I took a 1.71 on that. The next day, the next trade, in the next hour, I took a 4.8% over here, just because buy side was taken up here. The Hong Kong gap was set up over there, and obviously, as we all know, for me, I always target my Hong Kong gap. Then we had London. So we had our London liquidity, and we had between 250 and 310. Price decided to make a strong move down. I saw this little fair value gap over here, and I was aiming for a big one that day, a 7R, because I target the Hong Kong gap every single session. Unfortunately, the trade stopped me out to 2R. That's okay. So as you can see, price came down here and then came back up and stopped me out to continue going up. That's why we have stops in place. Continuing on to the next day, we had Asian session. I have my liquidity over there between 850 and 910. I saw that there was a nice move up, breaking market structure right here. So a small little fair value gap in there. That's when I entered. I put my lows just underneath here, and it went up. I was actually targeting the Hong Kong gap on the buy side. So as you can see, this gets set, and right up here, that was my target, but I came out just a little bit before that. If I held that, would have been quite a banger for the whole day. But then we go into London, and for this London trade, I was actually using a 5-minute trade and the 1 minute at the same time. We had the highs over here, which is buy side liquidity, and we had a big 5-minute fair value gap, and within that fair value gap in price right there was a 1 minute fair value gap just above there, which I saw price go to. I targeted that. This was a bit of a later trade, because between 250 and 310, it was hovering within this liquidity, and obviously there's no trade. So I waited for that liquidity on the buy side there to be taken. It gets taken. It didn't make him sell a shift here, but it did make a shift over here. So I actually saw that liquidity, and I was like, okay, there's buy side, there's all of this. I'm going to pull up the 5-tick chart, which I did, and I literally entered right on as soon as this candle was coming down and coming up over here. I entered on that candle right there, and then I had my highs above there, and this was literally, I think I had $60 risk, but it was a 20-to-1 trade. It was wild, but fun nonetheless. I went all the way down here. It was nice. And then we go on to the next day, which I didn't take a trade in the morning. I did take a trade in the PM session in London. What London did was was this Thursday? No, Thursday I didn't trade last night. I didn't trade. I did this on my personal. So I also traded GBP as well. So the same thing as with Euro. What we saw was price came up here, and then Euro had made a higher high, and GBP had not. So that to me was an indication of SMT divergence. And of course, I'm here targeting the Hong Kong gap, which as soon as price shifted over here, there was a fair value gap right there. As you can see, my entry was on the high of that fair value gap, and price then came and went straight there, and then complete from that point of the highs of the Hong Kong gap, it just ripped to go higher. I then waited for New York, and what New York did was quite nice. If you zoom in here just a little bit, there was price over here. There's a tiny little fair value gap. Now what I noticed was that we had gone up, we had come down, we had gone up to almost the same level-ish, and we had come down. This to me shows that this whole thing right there is a breaker, and what I view as a breaker. There we go, there's a breaker. And so I had this marked out, but it didn't necessarily go to that. So I actually entered off the low of this red candle right here. That was my entry, and I had my highs set actually above there, just because the market is a little bit more volatile in New York. And so what I did was I entered there, and it was just a nice little 3-hour trade. And then I think that was it for GBP. No, there was another on a Wednesday right here. So same thing. I was waiting for this to be taken between 950 and 1010. I actually entered as this was coming up here. There's a tiny little gap in there on the 5 tick. I entered on that, and then it came down and stopped me out for a break even. But over here, we had a nice little shift at 1030 where it came down. There was a fair value gap in price right there. And then as you can see, my entries on there, my highs are there, and we actually went, the target I was supposed to target was down here, but just because of time, I just set it at basically, it was just beyond the halfway point between this low and this high. So there's halfway, just beyond that, I set it and went to sleep, because that time over there is like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So I had already taken 2 hour off, and I had set my stops, and I let the rest just ride. And yes, this was Thursday, this was yesterday. That was a really nice trade. That was really nice. It was a beautiful, beautiful one. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you keep up to date with all the exciting streamers and stuff that's TRADINGNUT's got for everyone. And I will see you next week. Have a lovely, this week we had I think it was a 2.6% gain on the account to pull us back. So now I can actually start risking slightly more. And hopefully, as I said, things can just keep on raging higher. So anyways, you have a lovely, lovely week. Keep safe out there, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Okay, so this was the first one. This was a sell trade, and would it have gone on to hit my target? Yes, it would have. So that was the first break even. Let's have a look at the next. This was the next break even. That would have gone on to win as well. So that would have been an extra 2. So that would have taken me back to break even for the week. This was the third trade, and that would have gone on. That was a sell to win as well. So that's 3 trades that would have been 1 hour up at that point if I just let these break evens run. So this was a sell. Now this one, I think it would have actually, I think my stop was up here, so it probably would have stayed in, but it may have hit my stop. So we'll call that it probably would have won. It probably would have won. So that's, let's have a look at the next break even. Oh, there was this one here, sorry. This was the trade. This was a buy. Definitely went on to get my take profit there. So that was a 2 hour up. And then this is all hypothetical, obviously, because I didn't let them run. This one here would have gone on to win. I think previous weeks I'd actually, if I hadn't had a break even, I would have been down. So this was just one of those weeks. So that was a buy. I think that one actually would have gone on to, because my stop was somewhere down here, I think. So that was a win as well. Pretty much all the break evens I had were, in fact, so this was a sell, and that wouldn't have got stopped out. Yeah, so this, all my break-evens did go on to win. So I would have been maybe 4 hour up if I'd let them all run. Something to take into this week. Maybe I'm getting better at getting these entries, so maybe I'll take them into this week. Let's see how we go. Anyway, on to the next trader. All right, folks, I'm here at Black Bull Markets headquarters in Auckland, New Zealand. You can see this amazing view behind me of Auckland Harbour. Now, talking about views, if you do want to get free TradingView Pro, then all you need to do is trade one lot a month at Black Bull Markets, and they're going to give you free TradingView Pro. So, folks, to find out more, click the link in the description below or the card above.
What's up, guys? Quick update, recap on last week's trading week for the challenge, the Blue Guardian 100K challenge. We'll go ahead and jump into the charts. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So Tuesday, we had no trade day. We didn't get a setup in time, so we didn't trade on Tuesday. Wednesday, we hit stops on gold. You know, we're trying to catch the pullback move. We're just a little too early before it actually came in. Thursday, something very similar came in. We tried to take this short sell here after the pullback of this zone. Ended up pushing up on us and hitting our stops there. We didn't trade Friday, so last week was just a horrible week in the markets. Took 2 L's. So right now, I'll go ahead and jump into the dashboard here. For Blue Guardian, we're down 4.8%. That's where we're currently at. So that's where we'll start next week. Tuesday, we'll be trading Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You know, start to try to slowly make our climb back up to break even and get this thing back into the positive. So we'll be back on Tuesday for the Blue Guardian 100K challenge. Trading live. You know, hopefully we get a better week next week. This week was just, you know, horrible week in the markets. You know, the way the markets were moving as far as the volume wasn't there on the beginning of the week. And then in the middle of the week, it kind of flipped on us. So we ended up taking the opposite side and ended up taking us out. But, you know, that's just the way things go sometimes in trading. You know, they're not all going to be wins. And anyone, you know, claiming 100% win rate is definitely not been in the market as long as most people that will eventually hit L's. You know, you're going to hit some losses, and that's just part of the game. And that's why, you know, risk management is a huge important aspect in trading. We'll be back at it next week. We learn from these trades, and we'll go back into it. Clean minds, fresh resets on Tuesdays. So we'll be trading live on TradingNut's channel Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, London session. And if you haven't joined us yet, be sure to tune in, and I'll see you guys in. Much love, much love. Peace.
Hello, good morning, everybody. So as a recap for this past week, we are currently down almost 2% on the accounts. We haven't had a good week at all, whether trading wise or other matters. We had some emergencies that we had to take care of, so we didn't really trade the whole week. In total, we take 4 trades during the week, and they were all losses. We had 4 losses, 3 on UJ and 1 loss on gold. So we can take a look here. We started at 0.25 risk, and we had this $72 losses here, and we tried to reduce the loss a little bit, and we had that $56 loss here on UJ on the same day. So we were done for this day, as we had took 2 trades during the same session. And on the 16th, we had a trade on UJ. We had a loss, and we were risking 0.10%, and we see that we reduced the risk a little bit more. And we had a second loss on the 16th, that was on golds, where we lost 0.10%. So we can go ahead and take a look at those trades real quick. So those trade that was on the 14th, where we had taken this buy trade here for UJ, expecting price to react from this fair value gap that was created at the opening of the Asian session here. Unfortunately, we had seen price dip down below and take out sell side liquidity here without reversing going up. So here from this price leg here, seeing this big fair value gap, and we knew that price would want to readjust itself, to readjust and continue going lower here, as we have already with this price leg, we had already take out the previous day high. So we were expecting some down movement here on this fair value gap here, and we entered a trade here. Unfortunately, our stop loss was too tight, and we were having our stop loss above this candle high, which is the first candle that created the fair value gap here. But price go up and take us out here. But if we are seeing here on price didn't go above this limit here, and at the end it ended up going down. So that's 2 trades on 14th, and the gold trade that we took on the 14th, on the 16th, that was here. We had a beautiful move up here, and that left a fair value gap in here where price has reacted to it previously, and we wanted to see a little bit of movement higher above those highs here. So we took a buy trade around here. Unfortunately, it ended up taking us out here for a loss. So that was the gold trade on the 16th and the UJ trade on the 16th. So here, that was a missed trade that we were trying to catch. That's why it's not recommended to try to chase the trade. Like, for example, here, I had my retracement inside of this fair value gap here. That would have been the initial entry, but unfortunately missed this entry. And here again, it gives us another entry inside of this fair value gap. Unfortunately, we missed this entry again. As we were seeing price moving higher, we wanted to participate. Unfortunately, we entered here. Price did go above this high, but unfortunately ended up taking us out here below this low when it hit our stop loss. So those were the trades for the week. And unfortunately, besides those, we didn't take any trade for the rest of the week. And as you can see here on the dashboard, we are currently down 1.92%, so almost 2% down on the account. And as you can see, we have had 14 trades. With 14 trades, we are still only 2% down. So that's some good risk management, although we are losing. But overall, the risk management is on top. We just need to adjust ourselves, adjust our trading plan, and adjust our psychological, mental, and see why we're losing and see if that's something that we can adjust and make sure that the next trades that we're going to take end up in a loss with risk management or in a win with good risk to reward ratio, and we'll be back up. So as I said, with the risk management implemented, we have a lot of room for losses. That's not a problem. We're not trying to finish this challenge in a rush as we have no limited time. And also during this week, I have experienced with the Blue Guardian, the Guardian Protector. It was once for me. It was on the 14th when I took the trade on UJ. I had taken a trade on UJ. The first trade I risked 0.25%, and the second trade I risked 0.25%. And as I had set it to get activated, if I lose 0.50% in a trade, it automatically gets activated and I couldn't place another trade. Even though mentally, psychologically, I tried to because I know I was right about the direction of the market. I was just wrong about the stop loss placement. That was a little bit too tight. So I wanted to re-enter the market. I pressed the button. I definitely pressed the button, which would be out of my rules, which is only 2 trades per day. So I did try to do that because, when you're trading, emotion's going to be there. And fortunately, the Guardian Protector was there to save me and prevent me from placing any other trades for that day. So I ended up with 2 trades, 2 losses, 0.5% down. And I couldn't. Even if I wanted, I couldn't. Because once you set it, it's set. And you can only reset it after the day is over. Once it's activated, you can go there, you deactivated it, but during the day, you won't be able to take any trade once it's activated. So that's a great feature that Blue Guardian has, and I'm grateful for that because I might have taken another losses for that day and ended up in a bigger drawdown, which did not happen, unfortunately. That was all for today, so thank you very much and have a good rest of the day and good new week of trading.
Good day, folks. Coming to the end of another week here doing the Blue Guardian Challenge with TRADINGNUT. And I gotta be totally straightforward. I'm bummed. I'm coming to the end of 2 loss weeks in a row. I'm discouraged and just frustrated with myself. Kind of running through all the typical things I do of, okay, well, I gotta find a new strategy. I'm really trying to get past that phase of my trading journey. So I have a couple plans going forward into next week. The first one is to reduce my risk. So 2 weeks in a row, something's a little bit off. I need to kind of regather myself and cut my risk so that I can stay in the market, keep my eyes on things, and continue to learn while not giving up this opportunity to get the funded account. So I'm going to cut my risk in half for next week or until I can have a positive week. So that's my main plan. I am working through one of the ICT mentorships and realize that on this demo account, I can trade indices. And so I'm going to be watching that from the standpoint of the mentorship that I'm doing, which is the 2022 mentorship, which he applies directly to the index futures, which pretty closely correlates to the indices as far as I can tell. So I'm going to keep the SPX 500 open and watching that as well, but also not full risk at this point. So that's my plan. I'll give you a peek at my dashboard. It's kind of ugly at this point, but it is a part of my journey. So you can see just been going down. Today specifically was enough loss to have me feeling discouraged. I know losses are part of trading, but still doesn't feel good. So total drawdown, you can see 664.87. And my plan is to work out of that hole and back into profit. So there you have it. A couple of losing weeks in a row. Plan is to adjust risk and keep on moving forward, making sure that I'm following my rules. Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Blue Guardian. Farewell.
Tired of missing trades or spending hours at the charts? Introducing my Robot Builders Club. With our platform, you can build bots in minutes, not weeks, without any coding required. Get lifetime access to my video course, VIP community, and over 40 ready-made robots. Works with MT4 or MT5, and as a bonus, you'll get 3 months access to my robot lab, where we build and test bots on live calls every week. Join the hundreds of traders who are trading smarter, not harder. Click the link in the description to learn more, get the free training, and download a free robot.